What was the toughest part of ensuring the bass system works in real rooms, not just in an ideal demo spaces?
The toughest part was to get the R10 to work close to the wall, to the rear wall, because that is needed. So we look at our customers, we have maybe 20% who has dedicated huge listening rooms like this. The rest will put it, at least in Europe, will put it in the living room. So it have to work together with a normal room. Yeah. So to tweak the basses and to tweak the crossover so that the R10 can be about 90 to 120 centimeters from the rear wall was the toughest. Uh-huh. But we got it to work.
How do you prevent impressive bass from turning into slow bass or masking dynamic?
Small, fast drivers and enough of them. So this is the 8.5 inches equals about 15.5 inch. But if you were to have a 15.5 inch, you would have some sloppiness in the bass reproduction. You have no sloppiness when you're using 5 inch. And in the line array, it makes perfect sense.
In a flagship, the mid-range is everything. What was your key breakthrough in making the R10's mid-range feel fast, open, and unforced?
New voice coil construction and concertina surround makes the AFC, so the accelerated force concept, a big play, because the first 2 millimeters accelerate 50% faster than our previous drivers. So that means nothing gets lost.
Many speakers struggle with the handoffs from bass, low, mid to mid-range. What did you do in the R10 to make that transition disappear?
We have 13 drivers per loudspeaker, and it splits 5 ways. So the 2 bottom is mid-bass, and that's where the magic happens. When you have a bass line array, you have a mid-bass system, and then you have a dedicated mid-range. So the transition is so easy and so fast, and so you don't hear it.
Why did you choose using dual tweeters?
We did that to make 100% sure that the high frequencies from 20,000 to 53,000 hertz was fully covered and not lost due to the stress of only using one tweeter. So we often talk about detail, but we talk too little about micro detail. Yeah. And we have several things that we take into the equation when we do this. One thing that we actually thought and talked a lot about is that who is our buyers? So our buyers are not 25-year-olds with super new ears. It might be from 50 plus. Most of the end users that I know of right at the moment in Europe, they're plus 70. So let's take that and say we need a tweeter that works with ears that have been listening to music for 70 years. It's very good to have that extra dimension of micro details. And for a younger ear, there's absolutely nothing missing. So it's a little bit like having a turbo on a Porsche 911. You don't need it, but it's beneficial to get you out of the corners, right? Or to get you from start fast enough.
How do you keep higher resolution from becoming fatigued, especially in modern, hot, mastered recordings?
We use OCC 79's copper, double cryogenically treated for all internal wiring. We have a small sibilant S-stop filter in the tweeter, which is 92% open. So that takes away the strong S's and the strong T's. Yeah. And you have a special etching process in the foil of your air motion transformer. Mm-hmm. And you make sure that they're open to the rear, controlled by magnets, and not letting them in a closed room, because that will be restrained reproduction. So the tweeter breathes through the rear chamber, and that makes it less of a fatigue to listen to and brings out even more detail and airiness to the recording.
What do you believe creates the holographic soundstage effect most reliably?
If you look at the R10, we have a narrow front baffle for diffraction control. We have no standing waves in the round cabinet. It's also tilted top and bottom. Mm-hmm. We have very little damping material due to the no standing waves. We have cryogenically treated internal wiring. We have a 3-point fixed driver, so it's not 8 screws taking all the weight of the cabinet and the driver put together. If you look at the R10, it has all the concepts that we've been working on for almost 50 years. And all that's playing together makes this the disappeared loudspeaker that you can enjoy in high resolution and in super detail. So I would say everything you see is form follows function. It's round, not because it's beautiful. It's round because it has no standing wave. It's narrow, so it has no diffraction. It's 3-point coupled, so the weight of the cabinet and the weight of the driver doesn't interfere too much. So all these things, and you can read about that on our website. There's so many concepts that have been put into this loudspeaker. The sum of all that makes the great performance.
Looking 3 to 5 years ahead, what does success look like for Audiovector?
We keep developing. We've had a steady growth for many years. So if I can keep 6 to 8% a year, I'm very happy. I hope my father lives long to see his company thrive and strive, and we will keep it on private hands.
What's the next frontier you're most excited about?
We have a few things cooking, and I have a very, very important cable concept, which I will introduce later this year. So where we have a full loom, full line of cables, from loudspeaker cables to RCAs to phono cables to XLRs that fit our loudspeakers with the same quality internal in the R10 as in the cables, and new concepts to be considered to work into the loudspeakers at a later point as well. So that I'm excited about.
Yeah. I wonder what concept it is.
I can tell you it's a very, very special shielding that we've been working on for more than 2 years. But I'll tell you more once it's ready.
Alrighty. Will future Audiovector products lean more into complete system thinking or stay purely modular?
From my point of view, as a manufacturer, I'll keep it modular in that sense that I want you as a consumer to be free. So I want you to be calm in your body when you say an Audiovector and my new tube amplifier sounds good. An Audiovector and my old name system sounds good. An Audiovector and a brand new Burmaster system sounds great. So I want to give the flexibility to the listener by not making too many restraints.
If you could invest heavily in one thing tomorrow, what would it be?
Family. You know why I say that?
Why?
Because the more happy you are in your home with your family, the better your company runs.
So your first priority is family then?
Always.
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 If you could add one impossible feature to the next flagship, what would it be?
A real woman voice instead of a mid-range.
Finish this sentence for me. In 5 years, the best loudspeakers will be the ones that
are most dynamic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, they were wonderful.